Hello, viewers, whatever you want to call yourselves. I don't know, lurkers, whatever. Welcome to Have I Got News for You? Episode 5 Dead Men Cast No Spells. My name's Ben, and I'm gonna, or Bob, as you see on the screen right there. I'm gonna be your dungeon master today. We're gonna be playing a D&D 5th edition Ravnica game. But it's gonna be more about your street level Ravnican rather than your mighty magic spells and planeswalkers and things. So just be aware this might not be the Ravnica you're used to. The other thing I want to make sure to point out is that we're playing with basically, if I get a rule wrong, congratulations, that's now a house rule. If I rule the same thing different later on, that is now the house rule. My focus here is to keep the game running and having a lot of fun. It's an RP heavy campaign. We're going into session 5 and we've had 2 fights. Everything else has been fairly RP heavy. That being said, let's introduce our players, starting with Jordan.
Good evening or afternoon, time of day. I'm Jordan. I am Adelchi, human cleric of order, and this particular street cruise of the Ravnica News Network's documancer, for lack of a better term. I am here to make sure that we dot the I's, cross the T's, and everything is accounted for.
Circle the lowercase J's. Carry on.
Sorry. Yep. That's me. I do all that.
Just before we get to the interviews next, I will thank all of the follows, subs, anything of that kind of thing when we go to break. Okay, so we're not interrupting the flow of the game. Just want to make sure of that. Okay. After Jordan, we've got Aimee.
Hello, I'm Aimee, and I play Zimzix, the rogue goblin. I basically
remember to say what clan you're from as well.
Yes, I'm from those guys, Dimir.
How
I never remember the name of it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm with Clan Dimir. And I basically boss everybody around because why not?
And then we go down to Poetics.
Hello, I'm Poetics. I happen to portray Ruric Whelptan, a not so intelligent but well-meaning and very good-hearted Selesnyan who acts as the party's moral compass.
And then Jamie.
I play Agustus, the Loxodon sorcerer from the Izzet guild Izzet. As per usual, I'm tired from building things, as everybody knows from yesterday. Before the actual show went, I also put together or took apart a wrestling ring. So I am very tired.
So Augustus will be taking his usual stance of no fucks given.
Exactly.
All right, so as is tradition, who wants to do the recap? Now, it has been like a month since we played because we had to take one game session off because it was a holiday weekend and like 3 out of the 5 of us were busy. So,
I will take a stab at it.
all right.
If I vaguely recall, we had sort of bumbled our way through the spa trying to follow up on the murder of the Rakdos talent trapeze artist.
Mm-hmm.
Now realize the fact that
not a trapeze artist. He was a human
cannonball performer. See, look, I got it written down. I'm good. Tron was the trapeze artist.
Yes, the person that you questioned.
Yeah. bumbled all of that up. Went to go find to a spa to find someone named Marcus. Found out that Marcus was her brother, not a lover, which threw us all for the loop. And then some flamey dude came and tried to kill us in our sleep at the spa. And after nearly burning the tree down to the ground, we just quietly said, "Thank you for a lovely 24 hours. We're just gonna leave."
Now, do you remember the important thing about the flamey guy?
I remember he dropped a very old Rakdos ring that I ballsed up, and I tried to see where it goes, so I put some magic into it, and I teleported into a lady's room, and she got real mad.
Yeah. The other thing is, the guy himself wasn't flamey. Someone tried to set fire to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That was me.
Someone threw lantern oil on the floor and then cast fire into it. In a tree.
After throwing a fireball at the wall.
Yes.
In a tree.
Yes.
Not one to
Never
point
say
fingers.
things are always
but-
smart.
Yeah.
So, Jordan, for your recap, if you don't have it, you can have inspiration. And we do run inspiration slightly differently here. Usually, with inspiration rules as written, you have to declare before you roll if you want to use it. Me, I give my players the option to see their result, and before I tell them whether they succeed or fail, they can use the inspiration at that point.
Or you'll gently remind us that we have one.
I will,
Yes.
yeah, because a lot of time people forget that they have inspiration.
And one other thing that I didn't hear in the recap, we came back to our relative places of abode and discovered that many of them had been rifled through,
Yes,
and or searched in a rude and violent manner in some cases.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, how many of you remember that you have inspiration right?
I have
I
it
do.
written down.
Okay, so
I remember not having it because I spent mine.
you have yours.
I do
Aimee?
not have inspiration.
I have it written down.
You have one inspiration.
Yeah, one inspiration because I used one
So
before that I got
this
from a recap.
Okay, cool. All right, you can only ever hold one inspiration at a time.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you've just discovered that all of your places have been broken into, rifled through, and none of you noticed whether if I remember rightly, none of you rolled well enough to know if like any details. Really, you just know that your place has been broken into and rifled through.
Right. Yeah, I don't think anything. I don't think I noticed anything.
So let's go from there, right? Let's say at this point we've got you've all just done you've done your investigations. So let's just go round. Jordan.
Yep.
Adelchi. What would he be doing once he's realised that his abode had been broken into? Rifled.
I think the important thing for Adelchi would be checking to make sure that nothing has gone ostensibly missing. Like, do I still have
Roll me an investigation check on that one.
investigation? An 11.
Nothing that you can see has gone.
Fine.
But you being you would notice certain documents aren't where you left them.
What documents are out of place?
It would be things like your weekly tithe receipt to the Orzhov Syndicate. It would be your notice of assignment to RNN. Just most of your documents have been moved.
I'm going. Can I? I'd imagine that Adelchi kind of has like a desk, whether it's one of those roll top Benjamin Franklin looking deals
Yeah,
or a more modern thing.
Yeah.
I think if the first one was just sort of a cursory,
Yeah.
This time it's going to be I'm going over to the desk and I'm making, checking the angles of all my pens. You ever watch The Boys, Mother's Milk?
Oh yeah.
I'm checking the angles of my pens. I'm going to go into the drawers and see like if anything looks like it's been maybe yanked out and looked at. If things aren't I love the fact that I'm playing a character
check
that is so obsessively with everything being straight. But if you were to actually look at my real life, I'm just sort of like, yeah, whatever. All right, we'll get another one in here.
And I'll give you advantage on this one.
Oh, sweet. 21.
The desk has definitely been rifled through. At least one of your quills is like backwards, right? There are signs that the drawers have been forced open, and the things within them have been rifled through.
I do not. What time of day is it? Is it morning? Like
It's night.
Oh, it's night.
Because you left the spa at like midnight, and it only
Yeah.
takes like 2 hours to get back to your home.
The middle of the night.
So it's like 2 a.m. And I'll leave you to think what you're going to do next, and we'll move to Zimzix.
Well, I'm definitely going to take an inventory, but I'm not quite as anal as Adelchi is. But yeah, I'll definitely want to take a look around and make sure that my things are where they need to be.
All right. Again, investigation check is the easiest way to do that.
Failure.
I do believe you are an inquisitive rogue. Yes. You get anything
Yes.
for investigation?
Yes, I'm proficient in investigation.
Okay.
You know what? Let's go for it. I'm tired. It's the middle of the night. I rolled a 6.
Okay. Again, your dark room has definitely been broken into. Your pictures have been disturbed. Both professional and personal. But they don't seem to have gone much anywhere else.
Well, being that I don't think anything's actually missing, I suspect they were probably just looking for information more than anything. So I'll straighten up anything that needs straightened up and then get some sleep.
Okay. Poetics, Ruric.
So Ruric, upon noticing that that things in his small house have been shuffled about, dons his armor and makes his way back to RNN to spend the night in the meditation room, because obviously it's much safer there than his home. If people have already been in his home, they might come again. And I believe we've already run the scene in the morning where he speaks with Natalia and apologizes profusely about the firebomb.
Yeah.
Unintentional or intentional as it may have been.
Yeah.
So he will spend the night at RNN and probably meet up with everyone else right around or after breakfast.
Augustus.
Well,
now bear in mind, if I remember rightly, you live in the bunks in RNN.
Yes. So I mean, and in that case, I mean, not a lot of stuff is near all the bunks and stuff. Most of my stuff is back in the engineering.
Yeah.
So I mean, they got to be pretty dumb to steal something from the Izzet Guild that they don't know what it is. because that would be, you might take something wrong, you press the wrong button, and kaboom.
Wind up in some ladies' room.
Oh, yeah, that too. But yeah, I just kind of get back. I get to my bunk, and I'm like, all right, whatever. Thud.
Okay.
I'll check it out later. I'll deal with it in the morning.
So we head back to Adelchi, the only one that's still awake by the sounds of things.
Yeah. I think what he is going to do is like resecure his doors and windows, go through and like make sure that everything's locked, double locked, triple locked. Sadly do not have a locking spell yet. Don't have a locking spell, period. Okay. But then instead of sleeping in my rooms, I'm going to sleep in sort of the study. Kind of imagine it's got like a 1-bedroom apartment or like a little condo thing. And so instead of sleeping in the bedroom, he's going to prop up in a corner and sleep in like the recliner and maybe doze off, maybe not.
Okay.
So definitely probably will be exhausted the next day because just full on paranoia of someone else. He's got his crossbow sort of like laid up.
Go ahead and roll me a Constitution save.
Oh, that's fun. 12?
You're definitely going to fall asleep.
Okay.
Bear in mind, you've been in a fight. There's been all the other stuff going on in the spa. You're definitely going to like pass out on a recliner.
Okay.
All right. So next morning, just to check, none of you are reporting that your houses have been broken into.
Not yet.
Okay. Next
We're
morning,
good at our jobs.
next morning, I'm going to say post breakfast. We know that Poetics and Ruric and Augustus are at RNN already. Zimzix, do you intend to just go to work?
Yeah. Now, being that we kind of redid a little bit of the end there, I had pocketed the ring and I had handed it over to Augustus and asked him to take a look, have somebody take a better look at it.
We can catch up on that once
okay.
everyone gets together.
Okay. So yeah, I'll head into work and see. I want to see if the others have experienced what I have experienced.
And is Adelchi just heading in as well?
I think if I'm snapping awake, like, I didn't mean to. I think one last check of the windows and doors to make sure that no one tried to break in the night, especially now that he's.
See.
All right, cool. On his way in, he will stop at local Boros outpost or Azorius outpost.
Well, you already have people you know at the Boros outpost.
Well, then we'll do the Boros outpost.
Yep.
To report that someone has come through, didn't take anything, but definitely took note of documentations that I keep in my domicile. To at least alert them to the fact that there's been a break-in from another thing. I don't know why I just thought of this. Make sure I send a little messenger spirit to the syndicate chapel in this district, saying, hey, heads up, someone's out looking for information about Syndicate members.
Okay.
And then I'll head in and morning Rectigino. Everyone will kind of notice that he's a little more sunken and sallow than normal from having slept in his recliner. Sort of over the cup of Rectigino. Someone broke into my house. They read my papers.
Morning, Augustus. Morning, Adelchi.
Good morning.
What was that you were mumbling there?
Someone broke into my house and read through my papers.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I had to break in too.
Oh,
I imagine these folks walk past Ruric and Natalia having their conversation.
Yeah.
And then Ruric will join them shortly after.
Yep.
Ugh, that sounded painful.
I guess I'll be lumbering my way out there.
Well,
as I roll.
you were asked to have a look at the ring as well overnight. Did you do that?
No, I kind of just face planted the bed.
Okay.
I'll take care of it in the morning. I just kind of went in. I looked around.
Fair. You guys did kind of get the snot beaten out of you in that fight, so.
And I had a the Zone of Truth cast on me.
Yeah.
So I had to. So my head's all messed up. I'm like, ugh. So I guess I'll be lumbering in, and I see everybody sitting down. I walk
in the
up,
canteen or something.
yeah, and I'm like, before we talk, I need one more cup of coffee, and then I just stroll past everybody.
When you say one more cup of coffee, how many cups of coffee have you already had?
I'm getting towards fry level from Futurama.
Okay.
So if anybody understands that reference,
How many cups of coffee have you had? Yes.
yes.
Ruric is wearing his armor, which is a little unusual for the workplace because normally he's very much, the namaste yoga instructor kind of thing. But yeah, he's girded for war, including having his short sword on his hip, which is unusual. He normally just wields his quarterstaff. Someone was in my house last night.
Yep, same here. Same with that one. He's a little out of it at the moment. You missing anything?
Well, the peace and serenity of my home.
Well, okay, but nothing material.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Ooh.
Well, I wasn't, and I haven't got enough out of that of Adelchi yet. But I think they were looking for information. I don't know if it was about us or about what we're investigating.
Well, isn't that sort of one and the same? If we're the ones investigating, wait, does this mean that we've become the story?
I hope not. My goal is not to have my own name in the paper except as a byline.
As I
gotta
come
fix
back,
my hair.
strolling back with my cup. All right, guys. I forgot to look at that ring. I kind of walked into my room and face planted. So apparently things were rifled through. Not in my place, obviously, because you got to be dumb to do that.
Oh, I didn't know
I
if
have
you'd like
several
gotten
bombs laid in there. If somebody takes, that would be very bad for them.
Well, I have to say, whoever went through my place knew what they were doing because, yeah, there are certain protections. Yes, probably not what you got, but
Well,
Oh,
whoever broke into my place knew what they were doing. I mean, they got into my house.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if they took something of note of mine. I guess if I noticed it, it'd be important, but I didn't notice it. So I guess whatever. If they rifled through or took something that I didn't notice.
Hmm. Question is, what did they want?
So someone broke into your house.
Mm.
Someone broke into his house.
Mm.
But you were at the station last night, or that's where you. So, do you think they did this while we were at the spa? Or did they do this because we were at the spa all day? Do we know when they broke in? Was it a couple of hours before we showed up, or was it a day before we showed up?
Hard to tell. But yeah, obviously while we were away.
Because that would help us figure out what they were after, right? If it was after the spa, while we were on our way back, it could be related to that event at the end of the spa. But if it was before that, then it could be related to something else.
I don't know of any way to tell what time it happened, unless somebody dropped a watch.
I didn't see a watch.
Mm.
Well, is that something? Adelchi, can you figure out when someone broke into our house? If it was a couple hours before, or if it was 24 hours before?
I believe such sources exist, but I think I'll need to either check the library here, or we may have to go to the chapel and access the archives in the chapel.
Do you have archives of when people entered our house?
No, we need the spells. We need. I need to know how to summon.
You want me perception checks, please?
Oh dear.
Well, I have a positive number, so that's something.
Jeez.
A 12.
12 here too.
I rolled an 11.
9.
Okay.
We are perceptive.
Carry on about your business.
Nothing's happening here. Have some more Ractigino.
Oh, don't worry. Everything's fine. Just keep going. Exactly what you want to hear from the Dungeon Master.
Yep, carry on about your business.
Nothing of interest is happening. Because if we can figure out when they came in, we can figure out what triggered them to come in. So if they came in early, it wouldn't have anything to do with the Marcus situation. But if they came in late, maybe it did.
Except the fact that we were throwing Marcus as a name around all over the place before we went to the spa. I mean, it could have been Giancarlo's people. Finding out what we know. Could have been.
Well, I mean, we told him what we knew and he got mad at us because
he didn't know yet.
Well, yeah, and some news people were in his face about it. Maybe it was circus people.
It could have been. It could have been whoever was responsible for Diana's death.
Could have been the cult. It could have been. I feel like there's many options.
It could have been random coincidence.
I don't think
that seems less likely.
I just wanted to say in case it was.
And unfortunately, I got roped into all of y'all's nonsense.
Oh, that's not a polite thing to say, Augustus. We are all co-workers here.
Remember, honesty is the best policy, and I got roped in, so I'm being very honest.
I have learned there's a difference between honesty and bluntness. I'm working on that.
Oh yeah, that is true. Honesty can be blunt.
All right. So next step.
We go to church.
We could. So, out of curiosity, would the kind of divination I'm looking for be something that I know exists in the libraries we've got here, or am I?
When you say "got," you mean in RNN?
Yeah.
You don't have a library in RNN.
Oh,
You just have like offices.
All right. Well then, to the Syndicate Chapel, I think.
All right, you're off to see the Orzhov.
Yeah.
The wonderful wizards of Orzhov.
Yeah, I'm fully kitted out,
Okay.
ready for adventure and or attack.
So the Orzhov Cathedral, here in District 7, is quite a prominent building, right? Like the Orzhov don't make a habit of hiding their things, right? You can't walk there from here because it's a fair distance. It's on the other side of the district. So you do have to take the what's the word I'm looking for?
The bus, the train,
The tram. The tram.
Yeah.
Like the
electric rail,
the
or
metro
whatever.
equivalent, I guess. And you've all got your little cards that you're assigned by RNN, so you don't have to pay for that. Is there anything anyone wants to do before they get to before they get to the Orzhov?
I want to see if anyone's following us.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a. We'll start with a perception check.
Okay. 13.
Then you don't see anybody following you.
Okay.
That's not to say there isn't anyone
No, of
following
course not.
you, but you don't see anyone following.
Yeah. You don't think the door is trapped. Great.
I've never said those
I'll
words in my
tank
life.
open it.
I have never said those words in my life. Never once have I said those words.
Yeah,
So-
I think Ruric
Except
is
like
gonna,
2 sessions ago.
I think Ruric is going to. It's not necessarily that he's on edge. He's certainly inculcated and cultivated a sense of serenity, but he's definitely looking around. He's definitely expecting something to happen.
Okay. So you get on the tram, right? Let's have a bit of fun here. Tell me about the other people that are on the tram with you.
What time? It's still morning.
It's like 9 a.m.
So there's a fair bit of very businessy looking folks heading into their places of employment. A lot of Ractigino.
A lot of coffee.
hands full of Ractigino.
The Torchlight Cafe has been making a killing this morning. Yes.
Oh yes. I'm guessing there's a stop right next to it.
Well, if you
Nearby.
think the Torchlight Cafe as like the Ravnica equivalent of a Starbucks, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So there's ones
like
at every
6
stop.
of them on
There's
every
one next
block.
to every stop.
Yeah.
Not only is there like one next to every tram stop, there's actually like 4 at every entrance to the tram stop.
Mhm.
There might even be one on the tram. Like
There might be.
I believe that.
So yeah, a lot of the folks are very business unsuspicious in their general
right, but give me some details. Give me some examples of actual people.
there's a Loxodon jammed in the corner,
Okay.
trying to enjoy his Ractigino, but he's taking up so much space that the people are kind of
So you're
crashing into
you're of the opinion that like Izzet built trams aren't Loxodon friendly.
I suppose they would be, yeah.
Maybe there just wasn't other room.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's in it. Yeah, the other seats were taken.
Okay.
So there's one. I'll give some other.
What
people
guild
some
is that Loxodon from?
He's probably Izzet as well.
Okay, he's an Izzet. All right.
Yeah. Makes most sense.
From what I think there are 2 young dwarves who are utterly.
Dwarves aren't a thing on
Oh, they are.
Ravnica.
No, I didn't know.
Dwarves are
Okay.
not a thing on Ravnica.
Then let's go with 2 halflings.
Halflings aren't a thing on Ravnica.
Okay, but goblins
2
are.
very short people.
Goblins are, yes.
Goblins are, so we'll go with goblins.
Okay.
2 very young goblins are utterly infatuated with one another, and to the point where it makes other people not want to pay attention, as they are probably stealing away from either their families or their school or other responsibilities for a day out on the town, and they are the only thing worse than looking at them is the noises they're making.
Okay.
Gross.
Yeah, and it's making everyone around just uncomfortable, trying to focus on their coffee and trying to focus on the drudgery of their day, wishing they could return.
Do they
to
have a
that boredom.
specific guild that they're from, or are they guildless? Or...
Oh, let's see here. I like the idea of one being a Simic.
Uh-huh.
And let's go with the Dimir. Just because
man.
I like the contrast there,
Okay.
and they are, bucking the trend and bucking lots of other things.
All right, get yourself an inspiration for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else got anything they want to add?
I just imagine all like, I had a bit of an idea, but so I just kind of imagine maybe not a Veldikin. A Veldikin, and maybe what almost looks like in ASMR, but probably just more of a celestially not enhanced, endowed being 2 very tall, broad gentlemen, bald.
Yeah.
The Veldikin is wearing the very clear blue and white of the Senate, whereas the ASMR is probably wearing the black and white of the Syndicate. And while they're not being very loud or auspicious about what they're doing, there's very clearly the flipping of notebooks and the pointing at rules, and the casual glance will note that they have basically opened textbooks of tort law and appear to be arguing some finer points of lawmaking and contract writing and the like.
Lovely. Jamie, do you want to add to this?
Oh, of course, definitely. Since we're on and everything, you got the goblins doing whatever over there, which is gross. But to my left, standing near the doors, there is 1 Minotaur and 1 Centaur, Boros Legion, of course.
Yeah.
And they're just having a conversation about some stuff that they just came back from. Couple of breakup fights and everything. I mean, you see a giant Minotaur running at you trying to break something up, you're gonna probably scatter as well. And then Centaurs, he's just talking about, yeah, man, that's kind of crazy and everything. I was at this district a couple weeks ago. I had to break up a fight too, except I'm not as tall as you. I'm just long. So I'm just kind of strolling in with my glaive. And I'm like, hey, cut all this out and everything. You know,
Yeah.
he's trying to disperse the crowd because there was a fight.
They're like comparing crowd dispersal techniques.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sorry. I thought my image was something I'd enjoyed, but no, the idea of two monstrous humanoids basically comparing crowd dispersal techniques. Just no, you just got to put your head down and go straight through it. No, no, man. You know, sometimes just a little rump bump is all you need.
rump bump.
Maybe you can take an inspiration for that as well.
Awesome.
Use your length for you know, every advantage you can get.
Exactly.
I think that's a legit thing mounted police use, is the idea of
The
horse.
rump bump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twitch the horse into things.
Bike police do that as well. They spin out the back end to trip people over.
Yep.
Anyway, so you've got a fairly crowded car that you've mailed your way into, and every now and again you can hear, "Oh, Alberforth, I love your new tentacle," and
Oh man.
yeah, and then there was this one dude, and he had a shield and a sword, so I headbutted him, and like, just you're trying to keep to yourselves, but like, it's a typical like transport thing where you can't help but overhear certain conversations, and it's not like Minotaurs have inside voices, right? They just are
This is
outside,
my inside voicey.
right?
Can you tone it down? This is me toned down.
And like every now and again you'll hear like the snap closed of like textbooks and things. Eventually you make your way, it takes about an hour, to be honest, but all the stops and all the other nonsense, to what is the Orzhov section of or precinct of District 9, right? So a little bit of text about the Orzhov. Wealth is power, and you absolutely can take it with you if you're an undying spirit living in decadent luxury on the ruling council of the Orzhov Syndicate. Built on the crushed dreams and broken bodies of citizens deeply indebted to the Syndicate's banks and loan sharks, Orzhov's elaborate hierarchy of syndics, priests, and oligarchs exists for the single purpose of funneling wealth to the top. Between the twin facades of religious hierarchy and banking operation, the Orzhov is an organized crime syndicate with its fingers in businesses across the city. The Orzhov's original function was both religious and financial, with the two functions being closely related. As Ravnica's dominant church, the Orzhov continues to preach an oppressive message that equates sin with debt and promises, forgiveness to those who make tithes and donations. As Ravnica's principal bank, it stores and secures the riches of the city, collecting interest at high rates to expand its own wealth. Its members truly believe that their work is necessary to the proper functioning of Ravnica, although most other Ravnicans see the Orzhov for the corrupt organization it is. Many people are still dazzled by the Syndicate's promise of wealth, prestige, and longevity. The Ghost Council, also called the Obzedat, that leads the Orzhov, founded the guild and signed the Guild Pact. Yes, 10,000 years ago. But it isn't clear which members of the original Obzedat might have faded from existence since then, and which current members have joined since. So, you step out of the tram into the underground, like, tram metro station, and it is pristine. The floors are white marble, everything is cut, all the signs are in gilt leaf, like, all the accents are this beautiful, like, dark onyx color. This is opulence for opulence's sake. This is a tram station, for crying out loud. So imagine what it's going to be like when you actually get to their buildings. As you sort of disembark, the tram takes off, and you make your way up into a large plaza area. To one side, your left, there is what is well known amongst all of the citizens, District 7, as sort of the central banking house. It's a large, almost Parthenon-looking building. Long columns, pointed roof, exquisite stonework. And then there are, within view, there are probably about 6 different churches. Each one operating at different speeds and all this sort of thing. Jordan, Adelchi would know. Roll me a... See, what do I want you to roll me? You have religion?
I am proficient in religion.
Then I'll have you roll a religion with an advantage.
19.
And then a 19. Alright, you would know that to get access to the libraries of the Orzhov, you would have to speak to one of the more higher ranking oligarchs in the in the church.
I was afraid of that.
And there are many for you to choose from. But the one that you think you would have the most success with would be Oligarch Tantandra.
Tantandra?
Tantandra.
Mm-hmm.
Who you know, right? Because you obviously grew up in the Orzhov, or at least you were part of the Orzhov. So you worked with the Orzhov for a while before you were sent to RNN. So she's actually the oligarch that was in charge of your branch of documentarianism, as it were. Yeah, give me 1 second, folks. I just need to look something up.
I think at this point, since we've already started with the Star Trek references here,
We have?
I think at this point, like as we sort of approach the main building, I'll kind of like palm. What's the like the equivalent of a silver piece? So
I can't remember.
basically a silver piece to everyone else. It's like, okay, when we go in, there'll be a little alms box right next to the door. If you want to come out with your soul still intact and not indebted to anybody, put the silver piece in the box as we go in.
Ruric will pull out a second silver piece just for good measure.
Well, you will truly be blessed by the Syndicate for that, Ruric.
Better than the opposite.
Remind me when we get back to make a soul settling machine so my soul doesn't get indebted.
I'm going to use sleight of hand to make it look like I put the silver in.
Go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand then.
Oof.
Which one are you? Okay. 14. Not so great.
You also are used to people pulling this kind of nonsense. Like, it's like you palm the silver piece quite successfully, but the
They
moment
know.
you do, you're like,
Okay. I'm not as concerned about my
there's no one
immortal
specifically
soul.
looking at you. No one that you can see looking at you, but they know. So yeah, you're off to meet with Oligarch Tantandra, who is part of the hierarchy of Sasis, the patron saint of documents.
All right.
You walk into this very large, impressive church, or at least it's what it looks like on the outside. Because once you get inside, it's basically an office building. There's a reception. There's like a waiting room, a coffee machine. There's like little snacks and bowls.
Ooh, snacks.
And there's a very surprisingly young-looking human sat behind the desk at the reception.
I will sort of walk up to the reception desk and look down at him and say, yes, hello, I am Adelchi. I'm here to see Oligarch Tantandra about... well, I don't need to tell you what it's about. I just need to see Oligarch Tantandra.
So she looks up at you and she's like, all right, fill out these 6 forms and do it in triplicate and bring them back to me and I'll see what I can do for you.
I have no doubt at some point there's an Izzet spell just called in triplicate, and it just makes copies of whatever form you've just filled.
What it does is that spell you enchant the paperwork, and that's how you get 3 carbon, like the carbon
like
copies
dittos.
underneath it. Yeah. We've thought of this. We've had 10,000 years to figure this out.
You've only just invented radio.
And yet TV at the same time.
Yep.
Gonna operate under the assumption that the pews in this waiting area have little desks that sort of fold down.
They fold down from the back, and they have like writing implements and stuff in them.
Already in
wow.
So go over, slide in, start filling out.
There's a little sign that says, "Go ahead, take a pen. What's it going to cost you? Your soul?"
And for that very reason, Adelchi reaches up his sleeve and pulls out his own pen. So there we go.
I'll take a pen.
Are you sure?
Well, like it says, what's it going to cost her?
Yeah.
I'm not an Orzhov.
The silver she didn't spend?
I don't believe the same things they do.
So you're going to take a pen?
Yeah, I'll take a pen.
Okay.
Oof. That just seems like a bad idea.
If they're inviting
marker
if they're inviting a rogue to take a pen, they're gonna take a pen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not the best of ideas.
I'm going to give you the opportunity, Adelchi, to say something as she reaches over to take a pen.
I just more of a I wouldn't. My cousin's boyfriend tried it once, and like just for the humor effect, I'll look over at a soul that's sort of like drifting by carrying a "How you doing, Steve? Hey. See you at the family luncheon next month." Yeah. we are.
Is that going to deter you from taking a pen?
I'm not an Orzhov, so yeah.
Neither was he. I don't think.
Yeah,
was he?
I was about to say it shouldn't matter. Like they're going to get your soul regardless. It seems
our guild controls all of the money in this world. Like you don't go anywhere without. Like I'll point down at my my little torchlight. Right, where do you think they got their starter loan to start their first franchise? Where do you think RNN probably got bankrolled most of the money to set up its?
That's literally why the Orzhov have a stake in RNN.
Why I am there is to make sure that RNN pays us back. Me and all my friends, and Jeff, who died at his desk on the opening day, who's still sitting at his desk, Professor Bin style.
Fine, I won't take the damn pen. Didn't want
Damn.
10 anyway.
Damn. Okay.
That's some sour grapes going on.
And Orzhov always collects their debts.
Even if you don't want them to.
Always.
Well, if I'm dead, it's not like I'm going to do anything with my soul.
Oh, they won't wait. So you fill out these forms, you take them back, and a few. I'm going to say it takes about half an hour to fill out the forms, get everything right, and submit them. And you're given like a little ticket with like a number on it, right?
Oh no.
And it's like the number 7, and the little caller says now serving number 5 or whatever.
I had a thought about Beetlejuice, and I thought you were going to say something ridiculous number, and I'm like, oh my god, we're literally going to die here.
It's 7 elf, hand B93, now serving number 1 Zeta.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it says number 7 and is currently serving number 5. So
Good we came early.
Yeah.
I think during the half hour of setting up this paperwork and all that kind of stuff, Ruric is going to try to find some sort of peace and solace. It may not be his church. It may not be natural in any sense of
it's a
of
very
his world.
this is a very quiet, serene place.
Oh yes, but it's not the kind of environment that he normally finds.
You would be surprised how nice their gardens are.
Okay. I figured it was much more, just that polished marble kind of.
Well, think about it. Like the whole thing about the Orzhov is to, like they want to show you their money, right? And what more is showing money than importing soil and sod and beautiful trees and things like that? So,
Okay.
Yeah, you could find like a serenity garden to just go and sit in for a while.
Yeah, I think that's what Ruric is going to do when he realizes that the
payments.
Yeah.
When he realizes that the stack of papers is that thick, I think he's going to try to reclaim some peace that maybe he lost during the evening, the morning, the conversation with Natalia, the tram ride over, and the thread of his soul. So
Okay.
Didn't mean to scare you, Ruric.
Is anybody else doing anything in the half an hour?
I think I'm going to follow Ruric out. I just being in here is giving me a weird vibe.
Yeah.
Just because A, I don't want to touch anything. B, I don't want to break anything. And C, yeah.
That's fair.
It seems like anything you do, you owe them more than money.
All right, so the half hour passes. You're given your ticket. It's 7 now, serving number 5. Is that give you some time to like talk amongst yourselves about what's going on?
So, I think we need to be completely honest with the oligarch about what happened to our homes, what we've been up to, because that is going to give us the best chance at getting the resources we need to help try to figure out why us.
Yeah, I mean you're taking the lead on this. This is your contact. I don't have any reason to lie to them anyway. I mean, we're here to find out things, not to hide anything from them.
We're here to solve problems, not cause them.
I too second that motion. I'm also suspending lying for me personally because I did not like to get spellbound.
As you say that, a very like nervous, shaky, drained of color looking Vidalcan walks out from behind the thing, and it goes ding. Now serving number 6.
So, are we going to give them the whole story of the story that we were sent on from RNN?
Yes.
I don't want
Yeah,
to.
if we have to.
I don't want to jump the gun, but
I don't think it's a if we have to. I think it's a we need to.
I mean, there's they need context for what we're looking for.
I think the more honest we are, the better it'll be in the long run for us.
well, I'm just saying. I hope they see the news report afterward and don't think that they've already gotten the whole story. I don't want to lose subscribers to this.
Well, we won't lose any subscribers from the Syndicate if we tell one oligarch the whole story.
Okay.
In fact, if anything, our forthrightness and honesty with the oligarch will probably do great wonders at boosting RNN's reputation within the whole Syndicate in this district and even into the neighboring districts.
And she may want to see how it all turns out, because we're only in the middle of this.
Everyone loves a good story.
Right about then, like a very like hand-wringy goblin walks out, and the thing goes ding. Now serving number 8.
Son of a-
Hmm.
Well, when I had to get this sorcery license, it took forever. I mean, there were like 4 lines. One line was going really fast, and I found out that was for people who talked really fast, and then there was a line for people who talked really slow, and I was in the middle. It was terrible.
Ding.
Same thing.
Now serving number 9.
I will very.
Did the Adelchi notice what I did?
Did you steal a pen?
No.
Oh,
What did you do? What did you do?
I palmed the coin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, I did not. I will very officiously sort of not storm, because one doesn't storm through the chapel. One strive to put my claim ticket down on the desk, point at it, point at the now serving board, explain.
See, you're pink number 7. That's brown number 9.
I'll look around for the pink board.
There's absolutely no pink board.
No. Why am I pink 7 when you're only ringing brown
You were
numbers?
the 7th person to come here in line in pink.
What? Or troublesome little thing. I don't think you understand the importance and the haste of which I need to speak with the oligarch. So I would appreciate either you telling me where we actually stand in line as Pink 7, or I would like to demand to speak to someone a little higher up the chain than you.
Fine. He disappears behind the door, and about a minute or so later, like a Vidalcan comes out. You seem to have a complaint.
Yes, I do. Do I recognize any of the vestments or iconography on him? Like,
He's
where do I need?
He's definitely a member of the Church's document.
But a higher standing than me, yes?
Oh, yes.
Okay, yeah. So obviously, I will not. My
Point of fact, the secretary is probably a higher standing than you.
Fair. I just need to know. I have something very important I need to speak with Oligarch Tantandra about.
Oh, in that
And I
case, you need to fill out all these forms in triplicate.
are they the forms I've already filled out?
Yes.
I have already filled these forms out. In fact, I do believe I see them sitting on the young lady's desk right there.
So you've been given a number.
Yes, pink 7. And I need to know where we actually stand in line, considering we are now on brown 9.
You are the 7th pink line.
Well, what number is being served to the pink line now?
No one in the pink line is being served now. We're on brown 9. You just pointed that out.
Okay. Then when will pink be served?
When pink 1 comes up.
When will that be?
Well, when you look up here and see a number 1 that's pink, that's pink 1. Do you see a number up here? That I know you're only like a low rank thing, but I'm sure you've learned to read already. Do you see a pink number 1?
No, it is very clearly brown 9. But
Then why are you asking about pink numbers?
Well, because I was not informed that we were on a different schedule than the schedule that was being served now.
There is nowhere in the bylaws that say you need to be informed.
How do I get into the brown line then?
You have a brown ticket.
Yes, I'd like to exchange my pink ticket for a brown ticket.
No, you have a pink ticket.
I turn to Zimzix, having watched this, and say, when he gets a brown ticket, it'll be brown 75 or something, and they'll start serving pink, right?
He's not asking the right questions. Think I should help him?
I need to speak to Oligarch Tantandra as soon as possible. It is a matter of utmost urgency for the Syndicate and our investments with the Ravnica News Network.
Now, I know you may only be a young'un, but you need to see someone in the church with utmost urgency.
Yes.
You're asking them to take time out of their schedule.
Yes, we made our offerings for the church on the way in. Do I need what is Oligarch's Tentandra's time worth today, so that she may see me with my pink number 7?
We could wait till the pink number 7 comes up.
Yes,
Or you could hasten that.
Yes. I wish to hasten this process.
And you think, again, I understand you're young, but you've clearly served some time in the church.
Yes.
And you think a silver piece is an adequate tithe for the time of an oligarch.
Reach in my belt pouch and pull out 4 gold pieces.
Okay, and do what with them?
Put them on top of my pink number 7.
Okay, that's not the tithing box, right?
But would this be enough tithing for?
I think that would be adequate.
I will scoop it up with my pink number 7. And again, not storm, but
Sachet.
huff and sachet.
Release off, yeah.
I'm just imagining that it's like just a very, very long between the front door and the.
Yeah.
One,
Yeah.
2, 3,
Never
4,
gonna understand the Orzhov.
and a fifth one for
Good measure.
good measure.
Yep.
And then turn around and
Okay, so you go back to him. Excellent. It does. And he pulls out a form and starts filling it out. He goes, take this to window number 5.
look around for window number 5.
So you go round a corner, and then there's like a long row of different windows. Named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like as far as the eye can see.
Oh wait, so I'll take them to take the papers to window number 5. I'll sort of beckon my comrades to follow me.
So you get to window number 5, and there is what is quite clearly a ghost working behind window number 5, and it just looks at you. Your form. Picks up another form, starts filling it out, pushes it under the. Pick it up, you take a read of it, and it's like, please take this to window number 12. This goes on for some time, okay? This goes on for probably another, like, 8 or 10 windows, right?
So I've hit all 37 windows in the hallway.
So you've hit every window.
And it's not like just go to the next one. No, it's go to this one like 10 down, and then go to this one 7.
Like you go to number 12, and then number 12 sends you to number 1. Number 1 sends you to number 37, and number 37 sends you to 3.
And there's a line at each one of them.
Oh, there's
right?
absolutely a line at each one.
I'm just gonna sit down and wait. There's a sitting area, right?
Eventually,
At least those goblin kids aren't here.
eventually, you are shown through to a very opulent waiting room, with like 7 or 8 chairs. There's like a large window looking out over the plaza. You're on like the 4th floor of church come office building. There's like a little water feature with running water. There's down the corridor there's a bathroom. There's all kinds of just really nice. There's like some beautiful artwork, and it's just, and you wait there for about 5 minutes, and then a little thrall, a little monster thing with a gold mask on and little wings that should never be able to carry it anywhere, but absolutely can. Flaps in with like 4 like glasses with some kind of dark red liquid in it, and offers them around to everybody.
I will follow Adelchi's lead.
I will take one and slowly sip it. I don't want to be rude.
Yeah, of course.
And
I
then-
never turned down a free drink.
Like 2 or 3 minutes later, the thrall comes back in and beckons you and opens the door through the main office.
Before we go through, obviously smooth my vestments out over my chain. And shoulders back, chin up. In through the door. I go.
So you walk through the door. Again, it's a very opulent looking office. All kinds of like filing system, all that sort of thing. There's a large wooden desk in the middle. There's the plush carpet. And behind the desk, there's a huge stained glass window, which is an image of Sasis, the patron saint of documents.
Mhm.
And if just in front of that, behind the desk, is a large leather chair with a young woman in it who, by all rights, looks about 14. And she's got both feet kicked up on the desk. She's like,
A very proper bow. I do recognize that this is Oligarch Tantandra, yes?
absolutely, yes.
Okay, yes. Bow. Good morning, Oligarch. Yeah, very appreciative of you taking the time to speak with me and my comrades today.
She gives you a smile that, it's the kind of smile that could strip the flesh off a goblin at 400 yards.
Mm,
Right, it's that very predatory smile. And it's made even more predatory by her elongated incisors.
mm.
Your fighter, Adelchi. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And what do we owe the for?
Well, honestly, um, uh, it,
Spit
I,
it out, man. Come on.
well, I basically tell her the whole story
You
of
get
everything.
about 2 minutes into the whole story, and she's like, bored. Get to the point.
Well, then last night, someone, or some point, someone broke into all of our domiciles and rifled through our things, and we were just hoping that you might know of a scroll or an item that could help pinpoint when the person broke in
When
to
you
our.
say that someone broke into your home,
Mhm.
shits up, and like, fight. Tell me, have you filled out Form 74J/B45 to make your home sovereign Orzhovian turf?
Uh, mm, hmm. I feel
Or
like
have
that's
you
something
not
I.
bequeathed those things to church yet?
Yes.
Have. Excellent. Then
Yes.
we can help you. If you hadn't, maybe out of luck. Now, your friends here, are they members of the church?
No, the shifty one over there, looking at the gold leaf, belongs to House Dimir. The
Figures.
strong silent type, over here, belongs to the Conclave, and the Loxodon in the corner, trying to figure out how the automatic doors function and not break anything, is its league.
Excellent. Well, I do know a couple of spells in combination that can help you. That is, however, in order for me to retrieve them, you are going to have to. What's the saying in Orzhovian? No, I believe it's the ancient Azorian. Quid pro quo.
Of course, oligarch, oligarch. We're more than
You
willing.
scratch my back, and I shall scratch yours.
Of course, I would expect Nothing else.
And at that point, we're going to take our break for today.
Dun dun dun.
Quick thank yous to all OT and Weeside Guy 41 for their follows. Much appreciated. Please stay with us. We will be back in about 3-4 minutes. Gonna go take a quick restroom break, refresh our beverages, and come back and carry on with these guys digging themselves into an even hole.
Of course.
So stay with us, and we will see you soon.
Dun 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 dun.